what is your general assessment of NCB after this AGM?
I mean, it was a transition year. I mean, as our chairman's been saying, look, this was a turnaround. A lot of things that had to be done. Fundamentally great institution, but a lot of things we had to do. But you look at the leadership team we have now, and just a lot of internal, fixing little things that, little systems things that weren't quite working, get the ABMs working a little better, get the fraud reducing a bit, and all of that. On one hand, it's interesting when we published our results and everyone comes up and say, great results. When you're on the inside, you say, well, I know how much more we need to need to do. I mean, and while that could be a negative statement, to me it's positive because, hey, look, we're already starting to see those strong results, but we need to get that traction. I mean, we're starting to see our margins widen out. We're starting to see more consistency in the fee income. We're starting to see, less of one-off caught by surprise, positive or negative issues. And really that's what a leading bank and financial institution should be doing. It should be predictable, it should be growing, we should be bringing in those customers. So, transition year, it's always dangerous to say you're satisfied, but we've achieved a lot, and I think we have that platform that we can really build.
One of the things you've done with NCB Jamaica is there's a significant improvement in the interface of the public with the ATM machines, education on digital transactions and the way banking is going now. You seem to have embraced that. Can you talk a little bit about that, how you managed to do that and what you see there?
Sure. It's not magical. It was starting with very much when we came in, what are the big pain points? What are we hearing in social media and in the media? And we have to address those things. And a lot of these things you can't wave a magic wand. It is, all right, AVMs were an issue. Why are they not? Some of them need to be replaced. Are we monitoring them properly? Oh, gee, we're having these issues here, and that's because there's some interface between the ABMs and our systems isn't quite working. Let's do the boring, detailed work of getting that working right. Let's make sure some of the things on our Visa debit product that were causing some issues get fixed. So it's just the discipline, again, the standards to make sure if we're the leading financial institution in the region, all our products, we should be better than anyone else in making sure that ABMs are upright, that we're managing our external relationships so that the service level agreements are being hit. So the starting point, and you say, well, what did we really do different? We sat around and said, all right, what are the 4 or 5 key pain points? And let's start working on them. We get one resolved, what are the next things we need to be working on? And because if we're not, it doesn't help if we're addressing the issues that customers don't care about.
When can we look forward to seeing NCB Bank have a footprint across the Caribbean, be a truly regional banking entity?
Ask Bruce.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the real secret sauce of bringing major bank and major insurance company together is how you get the revenue lift, the revenue synergies. And that means ultimately, the more markets where we can be doing something banking-wise with insurance customers and something insurance with banking customers. If there's always a risk in expanding quickly until you've got everything working right, because you don't want to grow quickly a foundation that's not solid. And expanding into different markets doesn't always mean buying something of that. We were doing investment banking, and we've brought some real innovative investment banking capital markets products to the Barbados government in Barbados that no one else in the Eastern Caribbean or Southern Caribbean have been providing. We are doing some amazing transactions in Guyana out of our Trinidad office. So that's the presence that we can start bringing, and then you look for your spots, because the other discipline that's important, and Rob with Ian and I are always making that point. Investment just for the sake of investment doesn't make sense. We need to be earning a return on equity, and let's find a way to do it that we can generate that return.
One other thing, Al, the regulation on keeping banking separate from insurance, keeping it separate from securities, means that if as we've discovered, and Bruce says, hey, I did more, I'm used to being able to cross-sell banking and insurance, even if we didn't own both.
Mm-hmm.
And so the regulation can cause you to have a whole lot of inefficiency. And so you have to be very thoughtful about it. When Bruce is talking about saying, "Hey, we're going in there with the investment banking. We could go in there with a payments thing. We could go in," but you're looking at ways where you know how you're going to address the regulatory barriers that actually try and say, "No, you're not supposed to." We don't. That makes it very hard to realize the efficiency. So you get the inefficiency, but you don't get the benefit of the efficiency, and it becomes very expensive, as opposed to, no, we've got banking and insurance and payments and investment banking and pensions and wealth management. We've got all of these things, and they should create a great one-stop shop for the customer, but we have to go in with our eyes wide open saying, how are we going to overcome the regulatory barriers that make it inefficient? And I think that's the part about saying, we're not going to rush in. We're going to do it intelligently and do it thoughtfully.